Good morning, everyone. It's been a mess, is all I can say. It's so heartbreaking. And I am so afraid for my family, friends, and loved ones, and I have been for a long time. And it seems like it just goes on and on. And it's not something that's new. I've been seeing it since I was 14. And I'll never forget it. A group of us were standing in front of where I live, and the police drove up. And by that point in most of our lives, since we were so isolated in the black community and we were young, we didn't see a lot of the police brutality. But, you know, this was South Central LA, but I didn't see it anyway until I was 14. But they asked us what we were doing, and we said, we're just talking. And Ricky had a problem with them even asking, and he let it be known he had a problem with them just stopping and asking us a question. They grabbed Ricky, put him in the car, and the officer got in the back seat with him. And I was standing close enough to the car to see inside. And once he got in there with him, he started punching Ricky in the stomach. And this was a big, burly cop. And Ricky was a small 14-year-old kid. And he was punching him in the stomach. And as it drove away, I saw he was still in that same position. And I guess I don't even know how to explain how I felt. When I think about it now, it's like I guess I was just stunned. And I personally have been manhandled by police. And and on one occasion, they were jumping on a guy, and we were in front of the store. I was coming out of the store and got to the parking lot, and they were like five of them were on this one black guy. And we were trying to see, and they were telling us, get back, get back. And so I tried to peek around. I was just close enough where I might have been able to see a little more. And that officer raised his baton up in a threatening way, and then he let it come down, but he stopped just short of it hitting me. Now, what surprises me even now, as I remember it, I didn't even flinch. And what I remember even more was the hatred that was in his eyes. But I think the only reason he didn't hit me was because there were too many witnesses. He was by himself. The other cops were beating up the other guy. And he felt like if he did something to me, there would have been a problem. And this was back in the 1970s. And we see this happening, but it's not just one event or even 10. There are events that we don't even hear about, the ones the media doesn't address or publicize. And this has been going on for so long, from Emmett Till to Trayvon Martin, Rodney King, Sandra Bland, to George Floyd. And it seems like it's not going to stop. And regarding those that we have not heard about, there are links in the description, because it seems like when you get to see all these videos, you realize that They're at war with us, and we've done nothing to deserve it. For example, I saw the video of Alton Sterling, and that link will be in the video also. I mean, the description also. Because what I saw the video. They had disconnected their body cameras, but someone was secretly recording what they were doing. And for the benefit of the recording, they were saying, "Show me your hands," or "Put down your hands," while they were kneeling on his hands and holding his legs and feet down and with their knees on his arms. I kept saying that. And the officer put the gun to his chest, and I'll never forget, the guy said, Alton said, "You go." He realized that they were going to just shoot him, and he pulled the trigger and shot him in the chest. Still, they didn't know that someone was recording it. And after, they killed him, the guy had killed him, he walked back to a certain part of the parking garage, or whatever it was, and he got on the ground and then ran and rolled over and shot in the air to make it look like he had been shooting from a distance or something. That was straight out murder, just like George Floyd. Sean Reed was recently shot and killed, and he streamed it live on Facebook. He was horrified. He was terrified. He ran from them, and they shot and killed him. But they didn't know that it was being streamed live. They stood over his body and were laughing about it, didn't call 911 immediately. And what did they say? "That's going to be a cold casket, homie." That link is also in the description. Another man was seated on his mother's front porch, and two cops drove by and began to question him. Asked for ID. He was very compliant. He provided it. Nothing showed up, but they continued to badger him. Ultimately, when he telephoned a friend to come because the police were harassing him, the cop grabbed him out of the chair, threw him on the ground, punched him in the eye, and they hogtied him. This video is on a Facebook page called 24 Police Camera, and the incident took place in Greensboro, and the date is May 4th, 2019. Another Facebook page called Hudson County View shows a fight between police and black resident, and it's dated about 3 weeks ago, and it's titled "New Video Emerges from Bostwick Street Fight in New Jersey." And I'll put that link in the description also. Rioting, though, will not stop it. The 1965 riot started because a black man was beaten by LAPD. Same with the Rodney King beating. And when the video did not convict them, there were more riots. So when the riots are over, what will we have? We will eventually have the same thing happen again. They know we're going to march. They know, we're going to be upset. And we will have, once again, ruined our own community. And it's not stopping anything. Doesn't make sense. So I'm going to share my perspective and why I'm in support of a proposed solution. And my perspective comes from this. I'm sure everyone knows the story of Rosa Parks. And, they say she refused to give up her seat And they skipped to the part where the buses no longer made black people sit on the back of the bus. The part that they kind of skip over is why they stopped that practice. You know why? Because for a month or more, every black man, woman, and child either carpooled or walked to where they wanted to go. The city and the bus lines gave up. Why? Money. That's all they care about. And if they lose enough money, they get bothered because the exploited refuse to be exploited. And the corporations and the donors will make it clear that they want Washington to stop certain funding to police departments that fail to empty their own trash. A boycott is all they understand. Now, I've seen several groups online and here on YouTube as well calling for a boycott, which means don't buy anything for a couple of days or more if you can, online or anywhere else. And some, have a date of July 7th, and some others have some other dates. Personally, I think it should be sooner. Juneteenth would be ideal. But whatever date is chosen, I will support. And if it's more than one date, I'll support more than one date. Because our people being used as living targets has to stop. It just has to stop. And we've tried so many different things. But in a capitalist country, it's all about the ends and the Benjamins, whatever, all about the money. And that will speak clearly to them. You see how they don't get upset about the pandemic until the stock market gets upset. If there's a boycott, I think that they will hear us. It's worth a try if it'll save some lives, because they have enough power to stop it. They can get the word out to stop it, but they're not going to get the word out until, they feel it in their pocketbook. We have to realize our own power and use it. We're the biggest consumer group in this country. And it's time to start using our power, for moments such as this. We've got to do this for our children, our grandchildren, our brothers, our sisters, our uncles, our aunts. We've got to do it for ourselves. And I hope everyone will participate, whatever the date is, because I damn sure am. Okay, everybody, try to have a good day with all this stuff going on, and remember to stay safe. Those people weren't staying safe out there protesting. They're not talking about the virus as much, but it's still out there, and there's a spike. I think, I personally ain't going out there. Again, have a great day.